Hey guys, good evening to you all. So I am back with another message that the Lord downloaded into my spirit, and I am so ready to talk about it. So this is just really a conversational time that the Lord is giving me to just kind of talk with you guys. Basically, um, just some things that just literally been in my spirit, been in my heart, been on my mind. And I'm going to share that with you guys, okay? So, where do I start, guy? Where do I start? All right, guys. So, listen, you'll find in life when you are chosen and when you are, called by the Lord, that there is really serious, tremendous opposition. And that opposition is not just going to come from people you know. That opposition will also come from outsiders. Okay. And the reason why the Lord is saying to me, even right now, that it's this way is because these people have had a glimpse of who you are getting ready to become. They've already seen it. See, I've been knowing for years that people have seen who I am to become. I've been knowing a lot of these people have been following me for 10 and 15 plus years. Okay. Things I know, I know. Some things I know I ain't even talking about, but I know a lot. But I know a whole lot. Okay. All right. And a lot of us, God has had to uh keep people from around us and away from us because a lot of these people don't really have our best interests at heart. Okay, they don't have our best interests at heart. um Let me speak a little bit about myself and the way that I am. Okay. um Now you ain't got to take my word for it, but listen, this is just me knowing me. Okay, this is me knowing who I am and knowing I've always been like this. And people with even a tidbit of discernment will be able to tell, who a person is uh spiritually. They'll be able to, this is something they'll know. Give you a little bit of background. So when I was a child, I used to be, and I spoke about this plenty of times. This is not even new, but I used to be a giver, and I still am. I'm big on giving, big on doing things, big on loving on people. I've been this way since I was a child, since I was a little girl. I'm talking 2 and 3 and 4 years old. I was told that, I would be feeding everybody in my neighborhood. If someone was saying they were hungry, I was trying to feed them. If I saw an animal that was hurt, I was trying to heal them. I was trying to fix them. I didn't like to see um, people hurting. Okay. And I was always an animal lover, very in tune with animals. And I would spend hours and hours upon hours in front of the TV watching, what was those old programs back then? I'm assuming they probably still have them around, but I don't watch enough TV to know, about those. But back then they used to always have that program where it was the feed children. And that was a big thing way back when I was a kid. But I would sit in front of the TV for hours and watch this feed children program. Didn't know why I was so moved by these kids that looked hungry and how they were feeding them and all this stuff, but it was just in me. So much so, I'm the type of person that I would go to some of my friends' houses and visit them. Sometimes the friends weren't there. I would go in and clean up their rooms. I would go and clean up their family garages, different things I would do. And their families would be out of town. They wouldn't even be in town, but they would know I was there because they would leave doors unlocked and I would go in and I would clean up certain things. It was just the way that I was. Very affectionate, very loving, very caring. And you know something? People can see that about you. And they don't want you to be that way. What they want to do is they want to label you as how everyone else is. But the truth of the matter, they know you're nothing like that. They know you're not in that category with some of these vindictive and mean, hateful acting type of people. They already know this. They already know this. So when I give people compliments, when I say encouraging words, when I big up people and stuff like that, that's coming from a real pure place. Now, I know some of y'all have dealt with a lot of shady, gravy people. I know this, but everybody out here ain't shady gravy. But I know that a lot of us have dealt with a lot of that. So when people really truly come from a good place, it's harder for us to accept it sometimes. I know this. I know this. And, sometimes it can be true for me to feel, I can't really accept certain things because I done seen listen, for the things I have been experiencing, even in dealing in spiritual warfare, even from the beginning of the stronger spiritual warfare over the past several years, I know it's some hateful people out here. I know it's some mean people out here. I know these people don't, they ain't about God. They're not. So even if a spirit has got into them, you know what you're doing. Let's just be real. Because the Lord showed me a lot of these people know what they're doing. They know exactly what they're doing. Okay. So listen, you have to stay going forward in what the Lord told you to do, even if it feels like you're not being supported, even if it feels like you are in the midst of wolves and sharks. You have to move forward no matter what. Even if you move forward alone, you must move forward. It's imperative because it's the things that God has for you to do, they're for you to do. They're for you to do. You have a lot of people that are envious and jealous and bothered by the fact that you have what I'm hearing the Lord say, a greater light that is shining on you. A lot of people can't stand that. They can't stand that. And they would do anything to dim your light or to cause your light to totally blow out. They want to blow your candle out. They don't want nobody to know who you are. They don't want nobody to see you. They don't mind people seeing everybody else, but to see you, they're going to have a big problem with it. And the reason being is because your star is bright, your light is great. They know it's something about you. Oh, yes, they do. They know it's something about you. Okay. And so, with that being said, the Lord is saying you need to protect what it is that He's doing. Be very protective of what He's doing through you. Be very protective of what He's entrusted you to. Okay. Because believe it or not, no matter how much the devil fights it, it's going to end up blowing up. It's going to end up being everything God said it was going to be because He's the one in charge. He's the one that called the shots. He's the one that's making this thing go on like it's going on. It has nothing to do with us. We just simply have to show up. All you had to do was be obedient and you showed up. That's all you had to do. We don't have the time, enough time in the day to worry about all of this evil stuff. We don't have enough time in the day to worry about some of this retarded stuff these people are out here doing. Just understand that God see it. God see it. He knows your mind, the way you're thinking. He knows how you feel about somebody. He knows if you have envy in you. He knows if you have a tidbit of jealousy in you. He knows when you have certain things in you. You may be able to hide it from other people, but you ain't going to be able to hide it from God. He knows when it's there. Okay, He knows when it's there. And He can deliver you from that. He really can deliver you from that. But I'm trying to tell y'all people right now, I'm trying to tell you right now, we are it has to be the last days. Now, I don't know how much long we got because, see, nobody knows that. And people been saying it's for centuries. We're in the last days. But no, now things are getting drastic. Things are getting really rough and bad out here right now, okay? So you have to pay attention to what's going on at this current time. And then you have to make up your mind. Do I give myself over to being frustrated over this nonsense? Or do I give myself over into my passion and my purpose and what God has called me to do? And then if you have agreed that giving yourself to your passion and purpose is uh the greater thing to do, you would be right. You would be right. Focus on what God gave you to do. Okay? Because God is going to bring the right people. I say it all the time. It is definitely the truth. God ain't going to bring you somebody that going to like you on Monday. They don't know about you on Tuesday. They hate you on Wednesday. God's not going to bring you anybody that's clueless. God's not going to bring you somebody that's going to sabotage you, that's going to hate on you, that's going to throw mud on you, that's going to act nasty towards you. God's not going to bring them type of people around you while he's moving you how he needs for you to move. Baby, you got things to do. We got things to do. Say it with me. We got things to do. So we don't have time to get down in the mud with some of these folks and get dirty. If you're going to get down in the mud with somebody, it needs to be to bring them up out of the mud, bring them up out of the dirt. But we're not going down in the mud with some of these low energy types of people and frolicking around in some mud. We're not going to do that. So understand, that just a lot of these people, these folks is out here. I'm trying to tell you, these folks is out here. Uh, they know. I just keep hearing the Lord saying they know. They know. They know without a shadow of a doubt. The moment you speak, or the moment you show up somewhere, or the moment you text something, or the moment you put something somewhere, it's something about certain ones of us. Woo, I feel you, God. It's something about certain ones of us. And they know that you're called to something bigger. And baby, that's what the enemy don't want to happen. But he don't got a call in it. He doesn't have a call in what happens in your life. That's between you and God. And all you got to do is continue to show up. Continue to show up. Continue to do the work. Continue to live your life. If you're handling your business, if you got kids, if you go to school, whatever you're doing, you working a job, you working God's job, you do what you do. When you've got so much to do in life, you don't have time. Your time, you don't, some of us ain't got no time. We ain't got no time for nothing that does not, that's not going to help us to evolve and become stronger in God, be better, and get to where we're trying to go. Some of us, we ain't got that type of time to play little games with people. We don't. We out here, people trying to write books. People out here got goals in their mind that they are accomplishing for the year 2023. Y'all don't have time. Don't entertain things that if you realize that people are a certain way, I'm hearing the Lord say, once you realize that they're that way, once the discernment kicks in and he shows you, don't try to ignore that. Don't ignore that, because he's showing you that for a reason. He wants you to feel and know certain things for a reason. You acknowledge what you see and what God is showing you for what it is. And then you quietly and gently move away. That's all you got to do. You move away. You don't cause a scene. You don't do all this extra stuff. You pick up your stuff. Let's say some of y'all, you know how y'all do when y'all about to leave somebody and y'all saying, I don't want nothing to do with this no more, or this relationship or anything anymore. I'm done with it. And, some of y'all leave loudly, and it ain't got to be that way. When you know something is wrong, you discern it, you pick it up, you leave quietly. And you thank God that the Lord is able to reveal certain things to you. because you don't want to go invest in yourself and your the sweetness of you, the better part of you, and putting it into people who will spit on it and throw mud on it. No, invest who you are into people who will do the same thing in return. And at least if they're not doing it in the same thing that you're doing in return, they're not going to sit there and spit and throw mud on you. They're not going to sit there with a side eye like they don't want you to be seen. Listen, y'all. That's the message, all right? Y'all be encouraged. Stay in the fight, stay in the race, stay in this thing that God put you in. God put you in this particular position for a reason. He called you to it. You didn't call yourself and Shanae and Nick and Junior and whoever else. They didn't call you. God called you. So what God has called you to, he expects for you to go ahead and do it. Do what he's called you to. It don't matter what's going on. And best believe at a certain particular time, the right people going to find you. It may be harder right now. You like, Dag, I don't see, I don't see these people, Lord. These people you showed me, I have not seen them come up yet. Listen. Good things take time. A lot of good things really do take time. God things that are really blessed from on high, some of those things could take a lot of time too. Trust God's timing, and when you're going to meet these people are not going to be vindictive. They're not going to have snake and wolf and shark mentality. They're not going to have the crabs in the barrel mentality. You're not going to have to, when you meet these people, you're not going to deal with none of that. Trust me when I tell you, you're going to know right off the grip that they for you. You ain't going to have no doubt. There's going to be no wavering in what you are picking up. There's going to be no doubt. No doubt. So trust God's timing for things. And trust me, where God say you going to go. Long as you're faithful to him, obedient, and you're following what he's telling you to do, you're going to get where you're supposed to be at. And ain't no devil in hell gonna stop you. Okay, because you chosen. You chosen by God. You're called by God. So when God marked you and his hand is upon you, there's no demon or devil in hell, under hell, or on the earth that's going to stop this thing that God is doing. Now, a lot of these people might jump in the way. They might end up being casualties, but that's because that was a choice they made. That's a choice they made. Everybody can't be saved. So if they jump in God's way and they don't know how to back down and back off, then best believe that they're going to have to deal with God. Okay, so that's the message, guys. I pray it's helped somebody to continue on. As somewhat of a warning about watching people, watching who you are around and what's going on around you, sharpening your discernment so that you can hear God say, bust this right here, take this left here. You need to be able to hear what he's telling you to do. You need to be able to hear him tell you, okay, you good right now, but maybe next week he may tell you cut that off. You got to be able to hear him. And I think I spoke on some things not too long ago in a message about certain seasons and times for people and things. Hey, sometimes the seasons are short. You get in the season and God like, okay, this season is up. You go to the next. You don't fight God on what he's doing. You be obedient. You do what he tell you to do. You keep it moving. You keep it moving, because this life, this is about God. This is a race we run, and this is not a game out here. People's souls are on the line, and some of us ain't about to be playing no games. Not when we got things to do. We're not playing games. So please feel free to like, comment, share, and subscribe to my page. I would love to have you over here. Thank you for listening to this conversation this far. I greatly appreciate and adore all of you already. And I look forward to speaking with you again in the next message. Bye now.